The Phoenix Suns are right in the middle of contention for the 8th seed in the forever stacked Western Conference. DeAndre Ayton is playing like a man possessed, Mikal Bridges has shown up in the absence of Kelly Oubre and showing his high two-way potential, Cam Johnson isn't playing like a rookie and playing significant minutes, Ricky Rubio is providing steady contribution at the point guard spot, and of course the main star of the Suns' surprising showing in the bubble is none other than Mr. Devin Booker. Here on this channel, I recently talked about what's next for the Phoenix Suns after the bubble and how important it is that they can make waves in the restart. Well, here we are, a 5-0 start highlighted with a game winner over two of the league's premier defenders in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and the Suns actually have a chance at making it. And oh, let's not forget beating the Miami Heat yesterday. Now, I've been following the Suns for quite a bit and it was a wild ride. Before anything else, what's up guys? Welcome to Pacific Hoops. My name is Nico, and today I'll be sharing with you guys on why I think Devin Booker reminds me of a young Kobe Bryant. Don't forget to like this video since it really helps the YouTube algorithm and it allows me to continue making more content for you guys. Consider subscribing as well if you enjoyed watching this one. A quick shout out to today's sponsor as well, my very own show, the 1v1 podcast. Check it out during your free time as we share our unfiltered thoughts on the NBA and listen in to guest appearances like Rob Mahoney, Ben Golliver, and B-Souls, who just came in last week. Anyway, let's get back to the video. To put it simply, Devin Booker is the remainder of those in-between years when the team was not entirely a bottom feeder team, but also not good enough to reach the playoffs. That was led by Eric Bledsoe, Markieff Morris, and a now member of the Indiana Pacers, DJ Warren. However, Devin Booker was a hot commodity going into the draft, one of the top prospects for sure, but not seen as a top 10 pick. They even had guys like Mario Hezonja, Emmanuel Mudiay, and Willie Cauley-Stein picked ahead of him. Majority of scouting reports had Book in the latter third of the lottery, around the 13th to 16th pick. The freshman out of the University of Kentucky was the SEC Sixth Man of the Year, so you know that he has talent. What's funny is that the Charlotte Hornets scouting report on Book had this to say about him. Booker's poise, shooting skill, and being extremely polished at such a young age is a rare commodity that could make GMs think that they could get the next Kobe in the draft. But Booker isn't a home run. What I want to run with is this idea. Devin Booker's game is truly like Kobe Bryant's. It sounds completely absurd to compare a young 23-year-old against a proven, and not to mention one of the greatest of all time to play the game, but the evidence is there. To set the tone, let's take a quick look at their draft reports. The Mambas draft report has been around since forever, so we all know it by now. Can and will score at will. Questionable ball handling for a projected point guard. Physically not ready for the league. Booker was also seen in the same light. Offensively gifted, high basketball IQ despite being barely 18 years old, a big question mark on defense. However, they had one common trait that was universally praised: maturity. Both players show what it took to become one of the best players in the game, and people recognized that about them. Scouts felt their maturity and willingness to work would put them in a league of their own, above being drafted at the 13th spot. Let's now examine their games. Other than playing the same position, drafted at the same spot, and both standing at 6'6", Book shares a lot of similarities with his idol. Let's analyze his most recent game winner over Kawhi and Paul George. Their first attempt at tying the game was a weird Ricky Rubio jumper where he was swarmed by the defense. Luckily, the Suns were able to get the ball back thanks to Mikal Bridges' efforts. Booker first fakes a pass to the right where he drives left towards the elbow, fakes a shot that gets Kawhi to jump. Booker then turns around and fires a high arcing shot over the outstretched arms of Paul George for the win. As I was rewatching that moment, my mind immediately went to the December 2009 game winner that Kobe had on the Bucks. Same situation, same result. Kobe took the ball to the left elbow, half spin fake out, then the fall away jumper for the victory. That's the most vivid mirror image instance between the two players in my head right now. Devin is a product of watching your idol play the game for so long that you begin imitating his game, and that's true for as long as the NBA has been commercialized in the era of Michael Jordan. Kobe imitated MJ, Booker imitated Kobe. Numbers wise, let's look at their production. Thanks again to Cleaning the Glass for always providing the stats that you'll see throughout this video and the previous ones. No question, their team's offense runs through them. Cleaning the Glass has them classified as wings/combo guards, as you can see here. Their high usage rate dictates how much offense they have produced for the team, and it's no secret. When Shaq left in 2004, Kobe finally had sole control of the team, and his usage rate went up 4 percentage points for the 04-05 season. Since then, he cemented himself as the future of the Lakers and for the better part of his 20 years with the team. Yes, there were some uncertain seasons between Kobe and LA, but both sides luckily were able to fix it. Even without Shaq, Kobe was able to capture 2 titles with the help of Pau Gasol and Meta World Peace. Looking at their shooting percentages gives us an insight to their tendencies. No question their favorite shot is coming from the mid-range and closer to the rim since the plays are designed for them. Kobe didn't have a reliable 3-point shot for most of his career, hence the terrible percentages. But the Mamba never cared for percentages as long as he finds a way to will his team to the win. That's why Kobe had become saddled with the ball hog label for a big chunk of his career. If you remember the very first profile picture that the NBA Memes Facebook page had, it's this. It's a bit funny to me because Kobe is in the top 50 on the all-time assists leaderboard at the 31st spot with 6,306 total assists. Devin Booker's career so far is the same way. The Suns have been desperate for a messiah, and he's been playing that way for the better part of his young career. Coming out of college, his reputation was that of a gunslinger off the bench that could score in bunches whenever he wants, but always at the hour of the team's greatest need. He's not really a ball hog out of want, but born out of necessity. After trading away an unhappy Eric Bledsoe, the Suns had no choice but to trust in their young star to develop playmaking skills other than just being a versatile scorer. He struggled mightily in being a point guard during most of the 2017-18 season and the following year, the 18-19 season. Amongst all wings, his 23.4% assist rate ranks in the 97th percentile, but he turned the ball over 13.7% of the times in the 54 games he played in the 17-18 season. The 2018-2019 season wasn't that much kinder to him either, as that's when he started to fully embrace being a playmaker. He had a 34.7% usage rating, and when it came to dishing his teammates, he had a 32.7% assist rating. His assist to usage ratio clocks in at 0.94, meaning that despite his high usage rating, he would most likely create for himself and score. Again, that's not a knock on him, but that's just how it goes if you're playing with a team that doesn't have the right pieces. For as much as Kobe was called a ball hog in his post-Shaq years, he had to play combo guard for 2 seasons, according to Cleaning the Glass. Prime Kobe was a combo guard during the 05-06 season because he was stuck with Smush Parker, who was more of a combo guard as well than a point guard. Shouldering the responsibility himself, Kobe netted the highest usage rating of his career with 37.8%. Whenever Kobe passed the ball, most of the time it was directed at the ring, as he also averaged a career best 35.4 points per game with a halfway decent assist average of 4.5. His assist to usage ratio sits at 0.6, which puts him in the 11th percentile among combo guards that season. His assist average was also at its lowest this season with 22.8%, meaning that his teammates converted 22.8% of the time when Kobe passed them the ball. Kobe was lucky that he was able to be drafted to an established organization that had Shaq. They won titles together and became an established lone superstar a couple of years after the Shaq years. Book, on the other hand, had to suffer through a revolving door of teammates and coaches that left little to no consistency in the team's success. After so much losing seasons, the team struck gold in drafting DeAndre Ayton with the number 1 pick in the 2018 draft. Despite getting blasted for not selecting Doncic, the Suns addressed a position of need in Ayton. He's been a solid co-star for Booker so far, and his suspension early in the season really affected the team's success and playoff standings. I also forgot to mention in the beginning that the Suns also added athletic wing Kelly Oubre from the Washington Wizards, and he proved to be a solid third option for the team. The point is that Booker finally has a solid supporting cast that can contend for the playoffs this year and possibly in the future. Obviously, when it comes to defense, Kobe's got the edge on Booker. Kobe was a pesky defender on the wings and gave opposing wing players and smaller combo guards fits when they were matched up against him, especially in his prime years. Just take a look at his 04-05 season again. He had a 1% block rate, which puts him among some of the best wings that year. I would argue though that his best year as a defender was in the 05-06 season. He wasn't committing as much fouls while he forced turnovers and grabbed rebounds left and right. There's a reason why he's been selected to an all-defensive team for 12 years. the most for any guard. Booker is still finding his groove as a defender, but the bubble games have served as a decent eye test. He's put on some muscles to better defend and score in the paint and on the wings. Book most definitely has upped his defensive game, but leaves a lot to be desired. There were times when he still got beat off the dribble when, by now, he should have learned how to stop them early on. It's hard to fault Book for playing terrible defense when all he's ever known till the bubble was to carry the team on offense, while the other 4 guys handle the defense. The Kobe comparisons will always surround him probably until the day he retires. Kobe scored 81, the second highest scoring output by a single player behind Wilt's 100, while Booker put up 70 points on the Celtics, the highest scoring solo output by a single player in the 2010s. Book has a Mamba's offensive game down pat, but with the added benefit of having a reliable 3-point shooting stroke. Anyway, let's go back to the Hornets scouting report from 2015. With the right mentorship, he can turn into a Klay Thompson or emerge how Jimmy Butler did this year. Book has a long ways to go before he should be rightly compared to the Black Mamba, but his game, his on-court demeanor, and how he goes about with the game speaks volumes. Until we find a suitable nickname for one of the hottest players in the league right now, we'll have to settle for a Kobe-esque nickname. Oh wait, let's settle with this. Young Mamba. What do you guys think about Devin Booker? What do you think is realistic ceiling for him? I think it's been a while since I did a player comp like this. Last one I believe was comparing Jaylen Brown to Paul George, and that was a fun one. If you guys have any other player comps that you want me to do, just comment it down below, and as always, let me know what I missed on this video. Consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I'm always taking suggestions on what you want me to do next. This is Nico. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day.